Hello, this is William McKissock with Schooley Mitchell, your expense reduction specialist. And remember, this is not my day job. Interviewing businesses is a passion of mine to help grow the economy and help local businesses get some free social media. And today I have with me Lisa Smaga. Good morning, Lisa. How are you doing?
I'm good, William. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for asking. So let me tell the viewers a little bit about where we're coming from, and then you can tell us a whole lot more from some questions I've got lined up for you. So Lisa Smaga is the owner of Slip and Fall Prevention Services, LLC. They're a local Tampa Bay-based company that provides a treatment that treats floors to mitigate slips and falls. It's in the name of the title, Slip and Fall Prevention Services. So Lisa, tell me a little bit about yourself and how you get into this kind of business.
Well, I started out as a paramedic many years ago, and then I went on and stayed in the healthcare consulting arena. So I have many years of management in healthcare and working with workers' comp claims, liability claims, and I decided I wanted to be an entrepreneur before I retired. So I discovered this product that is manufactured in Canada. It's been in the States about 25 years, and it's a phenomenal product that literally prevents slips and falls.
And you got into the business because you have a passion for helping people, for
very much
in general, making life better for everybody.
William, 85% of all workers' comp claims are due to slips and falls. It's the second leading cause of traumatic brain injuries. It's and our seniors in the assisted living homes fall, they break a hip, they never leave the hospital. Mm-hmm. It is just, there's such a need for it. And yes, it's a passion.
Yeah. So can I get into a little bit more detail about what you actually do? What does it look like? What's the process? Tell me a little bit more about, if I've got a shiny floor, for example, and I don't want it to be slippy when it gets wet, tell me the process and what the actual services that you offer.
Well, that's the easy part. Recognizing that the floor is slippery. I've yet to come across a floor, unless it was textured, that was slippery, and my services are needed. But the floor is identified as a slippery surface when wet. I have this application that we apply, wash on, we mop on the floor, and we air vacuum it off or mop it off. And it raises, this chemical treatment raises the coefficient of friction of the floors. It makes them less slippery.
Yeah.
It creates an invisible tread, minimizing the soft minerals and maximizing the hard minerals. And here's this tread that is created. And when you put water on it, you're not slipping. Mm-hmm. It really is a phenomenal product. That's the easy side. For the more complicated part of the business, I own a piece of equipment called the BOT. It's the BOT 3000E. It's a turbotomer, and it's a machine that looks like a little printer, perhaps.
Yeah.
I put it on the floor, I calibrate it, I put in all my numbers and the data, and turn it on, and it rolls across the floor like one of those broom vacuums, and test the coefficient of friction of the floors, how slippery the floor is. That there are safety guidelines in place. So this machine tests the floor, it spits out a report, and you have solid documentation that your floor is indeed slippery, and you need my services.
So I remember when you and I met a few weeks ago, you talked about the little machine that produces a report and kind of measures the slippiness of your floors. Mm-hmm. And I remember you talking to me about you can actually use it in court. Yes. If you've had the measurement to say my floor's this slippy, I had it done and it's now less slippy. Therefore, I actually did everything I possibly could to make this floor as slippy less as possible. That's a last word for even me to say. So, is that factually correct in my thinking there?
Yes, sir, you're right. This machine is the only one recognized by the American National Standards Institute, who helps put out safety guidelines. And when it tests your floor, so I do a mini test, a free mini test for all my first-time clients. which is one passage down the floor. It gives us the results. Then I can treat that area and dries within 20, 30 minutes. We test it again and it tells you the new numbers and how it now meets industry safety guidelines. And yes, then it also takes pictures. I can put together diagrams. I've become a walkway auditor certificate holder.
Yeah.
I never knew there was such a thing until I got in this business. But we do a comprehensive audit. We send the report down to Dallas to a lab who puts it together in the formal packet. And yes, sir, it's the facts are admissible in court.
So admissible in court, and also with the machine, you can go into a property and actually tell them if you're prone to slips and falls, therefore mitigating any accidents, rising insurance, etc. All of that. Exactly. And we've kind of touched on what my next question in my mind was, is that why would we use your company in this space? Because you're not the only company that does it. Like almost every business, there's other businesses doing the same thing. You kind of touched on it, the fact you have the machine and the reporting and stuff. Is there anything else within there that you would say, this is why you should use us? Obviously, we get Lisa. That's a bonus right away. But is there anything else in there that you would say, this is why we stand out from the crowd?
Well, I'm the only one in this area with this product. There are other products out there in the market. Your big box construction companies sell products. Their floors are slippery. They don't use my product. And other people purchase from them. And yes, customer service is huge to me. You get me. I'm not leaving till the job is done and done right. Then I offer a guarantee. In 1 year, I'll come back and retest the floor, now you got me saying it, slipperiest areas need to be treated. I will retreat it for free and hold you over for 2 years. And then also, of course, the bot. I'm the only one, and again, in this region that has that piece of equipment and am certified to use it.
Yeah, fantastic. And it does actually, any viewers looking, the bot actually does look like one of those little machines that vacuums your floors, but also look like it's like a printer that's doing it. It's really cool.
And it takes pictures as well. I can download the pictures of the floor. You get down this close to the floor and see exactly what we were measuring.
What a fantastic service, Lisa, because I used to have a floor cleaning business, so I can really appreciate where you're coming from. So anybody watching this video, please reach Lisa. Her details are below her in her portion of the video. You can see her website there, her email address and her phone number. So please reach out to Lisa below. So as we get towards the end of this short interview, COVID, I'm asking everybody that comes on this show, COVID. So how's COVID affected you, and what's the kind of processes you're doing right now with where we're at with COVID, especially in Florida?
Well, personally, I still wear my mask out in public. I heed the precautions of COVID. I also offer sanitizing products and whatnot, but COVID has impacted me. You have to see my product in action to believe it. You have to see two tiles side by side. One's treated, one's not treated. You can't feel the difference. You can't see the difference. We put the water on it. You slip on one and you don't on the other one. And it's tough to get in front of people right now with this COVID going on.
Yeah.
So it's what I say is the wow factor. I have yet to share it with someone who didn't test it, who did not say, wow.
Yeah, I can believe it. As I say, I've got experience with having a floor cleaning company. So again, anybody watching this video, please reach out to Lisa. I'm sure everybody's dealing with COVID right now. You don't want to be dealing with slip and falls as well. And she takes all the precautions that anybody could. Whether you think COVID's real or not, Lisa is doing the right thing by her customers. And Lisa, as a final thought, we talked about this before the interview, geographically. You're based in Tampa Bay in Florida. You're out of St. Petersburg, am I correct?
Correct.
So you operate obviously across the Tampa Bay area, but do you go any further in Florida? Tell me about that, where you've traveled to.
Well, I'm currently the only vendor with this product and with the services in Central Florida and north up to the state line. I, however, can go anywhere in the state of Florida. I have relationships with a few other vendors that have the same product, not the same machine, but the product in Fort Myers, Miami, and on the East Coast. And we become acquainted and more than happy to help each other and develop a partnership and work together wherever it's needed. So
you can travel. I mean, I'm thinking like you go as far as Orlando.
Yes. Oh, yes, certainly.
As far as like Brooksville, that kind of thing.
I can go up to Jacksonville.
All the way up to. So you go to a further awayville.
Yeah. Well, so really, I could go anywhere in the United States as long as I work with another person who is in that territory.
Yeah, I understand.
We can work on a referral basis. For example, there's a gentleman over in California that has locked down almost all the YMCAs in the United States. So if I'm approached by YMCA here, he'll work with me. We'll share the fee, the compensation, and we'll work together to make it a safer place.
Yeah. So you have other team members of other franchisees like we are. I say franchisee because that's who we're a franchise. Mm-hmm. And if I'm I was bringing a chain of 2,000 hotels, big numbers, like, well, that's a lot. I can bring in other franchisees to help me with that, as well as the support from head office. So it's a similar model to us. So you can operate across the country, but you're primarily based in the Tampa Bay area, like I am.
You get me and my customer service and my attention to detail, in the Tampa Bay area primarily.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, getting you is enough to sell it for me. So again, anybody that's looking at your floors right now and you think they might be slippy, Lisa will come along and tell you if they are or not. Genuinely, she'll give you a report to tell you your floors are too slippy or they're not slippy at all.
Now I'm all excited, William. I want to tell everything. I also have a product that's a degreaser that works very well in commercial kitchens. At night, 2:00 in the morning, when it's time to mop up and clean up, whoever's mopping that floor typically just goes mop, mop, mop with the old dirty water from yesterday. So it never gets really, really clean. And then they put the black mats down that capture mold and mildew and cause health department problems. So I have this product that will degrease the floors first. Then we treat it, and then they wash it with the antiseptic like Pine Sol or Fabuloso or just a mild detergent, all that's needed to be done. And then also weekly, they can wash it with this degreaser product. But it's a fabulous service as well.
Okay. Well, again, viewers, if you want your floors mitigated from slips and falls, obviously degreasing, full service to help you keep your floors healthier and safer for everybody, please reach out to Lisa. Our details below. Lisa, thank you very much for coming on the show. I appreciate it. I'm so happy to share what you do because I think it's wonderful. Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you, William. It was great fun.
Absolutely. My pleasure. I'll now hand it over to Dave for the weather.